Rendezvous with Isaiah, Part 2. Hello, I'm Kendall Bryan Hunter, author of the book Consider My Servant Job, and this is Come Follow Me, Get to the Point, where I always show up, I always come prepared, we never take roll, and it's bring your own refreshments. Pumpkin spice. Yes, it's that time of the year where everything's going pumpkin spice. So how are things going with Isaiah? There's just no way to do Isaiah in a come follow me format. So we're gonna have to do the best we can. I'll just talk about the bare minimum. So first of all, I had a link to Elder Bruce McConkey's talk or article called 10 Keys Understanding Isaiah. I've been using it as a roadmap. That's the GPS. You're in the driver's seat, and as you read Isaiah, you can keep yourself on track by referencing that article, by paying attention to what Elder McConkey has to say. It's familiar, but unfamiliar Isaiah can be difficult. Let's be honest about that. And Elder McConkey gives you the cheat sheet, and so it's helpful in using that. Now, another thing to keep in mind is, are you praying for help? Are you making this a spiritual experience or just an academic experience? Are you utilizing the gifts of the Spirit, the gift of knowledge and understanding, and praying for revelation to help you understand Isaiah, gift of tongues and translating it? Those gifts of Spirit are there for you, and they're going to help you understand Isaiah. The last thing to think about is in 2 Nephi 25, where Nephi talks about his keys that he uses in understanding Isaiah. One of the things Nephi talked about is understanding Jewish, the manner and ways Jews do things, Jewish culture. And next week is Rosh HaShanah, which is the Jewish New Year. And I think it's about a week after that is you have Yom Kippor. That's in October, which is the Day of Atonement. So Rosh Hashanah, New Year, Yom Kippor, Day of the Atonement. And these are the Jewish high holy days. It's around this time of year that is very important to Jews. And it's just wonderful we're studying Isaiah during that time. And if you get a chance to have friends who are Jewish, talk to them, ask them to explain Rosh Hashanah, what some of the traditions are, and about Yom Kippor, what that's about. It's important understanding the way Jews do things. It'll help you understand Isaiah. So get to the point. There's only one thing you really need to focus about in this block of reading, or the key thing is Isaiah chapter 29. And that's that long prophecy that's very familiar to us. And we understand it to refer to the restoration. At least Joseph Smith did. And early on, he understood this was this prophecy in Isaiah 29 was about his mission and the mission of the restoration. So as you read that, pay attention to what Isaiah has to say. And there's a parallel chapter. It's in 2 Nephi 27 that Nephi talks about, and he expands upon what Isaiah has to say and throws some extra little tidbits in there. On top of that, there's the Joseph Smith translation of Isaiah 29, which also has additional material. So this is going to keep you really busy studying Isaiah chapter 29. That's the thing you want to focus on, is understanding the mission of Joseph Smith, the key events of the restoration, because they're talked about. Right from the first vision, we're quoting from Isaiah 29, and we just don't stop. That's the point. That's getting to the point of Isaiah 29. So let me get to the Christ quotient. I'm trying to be a little bit different. I'm putting my notes online and then reading them off of my tablet. So I'm tweaking around thinking a little bit differently. So, like I mentioned, Isaiah chapter 29 is the one you want to focus on. It's about the restoration. And we have the two proclamations. We have the Living Christ proclamation and the Restoration Proclamation. Put links to those. Review those. Pay attention as you're reading Isaiah 29 that you're getting information that you need and understanding the key principles. And I'd like to quote another proclamation. It's called A Testimony to the World. It was issued in April 1935, and I'll put a link to it. It was printed in the old magazine called The Improvement Era, and this is what it has to say. It says, "Two great truths must be accepted by mankind if they are to save themselves. First, that Jesus is the Christ, the Messiah, the only begotten, the very Son of God, whose atoning blood and resurrection save us from both physical and spiritual death, brought to us by the fall. And next, that God again has restored to the earth in these last days through the prophet Joseph Smith his holy priesthood with the fulness of the everlasting gospel for the salvation of all men on the earth. Without these truths, man may not hope for the riches of life, riches of the life hereafter." Riches of the life hereafter, from the first presidency, the riches of the life hereafter, and that is the point, eternal life with Jesus Christ. Thank you very much. I hope your study of Isaiah goes well. More Isaiah next week.